Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So I just want to add some stuff to this morning video. It may be late for you guys, but listen, I am experiencing a bright morning. I even hear the birds chirping. That's so wonderful, isn't it? For the past few days, it has been raining and pouring, and it was gray. It was gray as my thoughts, and now it's bright. You expect me to have some bright times, but instead, no. So early in the morning, I checked my tax balance. Now, if you guys don't know, I never told you this. I signed up for taxes because to open an Amazon account to sell books, you need a tax number, and I signed up for it in advance. I shouldn't have done that. I should have not done that. I know, a bit impulsive I am, but after that took place, I even filed my first taxes. I signed up with a tax practitioner and all that stuff, and I had to pay zero, obviously. But then December came, I received some gift money, and obviously that money possibly generated something, I guess, because today I checked. It said I had a penalty. It was a cheap penalty, no big deal. But the thing is, I was like, wait a minute, how am I gonna pay this? I kept searching rigorous. I can't even say the word. I'm so exhausted. And then um, I kept going on the website trying to figure out where do you find all of this stuff. And it said on your bank account you'll see this extra detail. I check on the app. Fun fact, if you're going to use something, use the web version instead, because when you use the app version is like, you could say, a children's version, because it just doesn't have all the awesome and interesting components compared to the original web browser. So I finally checked the web browser. I see all the beneficiaries and stuff, whatever you call it, and then I paid it. Now, the thing is that I don't know if I did a mistake with the reference number, because on the email they gave me a reference number, which was also a reference number prior, like, like my first ever payment, not payment, my first ever filing, I received a number, and this number was already on my email. But today, when I checked, it was the same number. But then you also had a payment number, which was the same reference number, but it had more digits to it. So I could not use reference numbers, any kind of reference number, a payment reference number. I had to use short formed reference number, which was dedicated to me. I used it, and for some reason, I don't know if it went through. I'm afraid. I received a message when I kept not SMSing, I kept checking my balance on my phone, and I received this message twice that said it'll take 3 days to process the payment. And I'm worried. I'm really worried because the payment went through. I have a statement, but the only thing is that worries me is the reference number. What if I use the wrong reference number? All right, so that's the thing that haunted me today. Anyways, I have some breakfast. Just not feeling well. Give me a minute. All right. All right. So I have some breakfast. Actually, it's part of my um, second breakfast because I just had porridge. So this is tomato flavored chips. Wow. Um, I was actually eating after this yesterday and I did not finish that for breakfast. So here I am completing it for breakfast. It's still fresh, which is really good. But you know, this tangy flavor mixed with the sensation of uneasiness is not a good combination. I feel afraid because I have to pay again if my money doesn't go through for some reason. It went through, but I'm afraid it might not change anything. I may still have a balance of 250, uh, which is quite small compare if you think about it for penalties. But anyways, yeah, it's my fault, I guess. I did not do something. So, anyways, yeah. So it is a really bright morning. I just wish I could enjoy this morning. For the past few days, it's been hauntingly gray, and I just don't like a lot of gray weather. I've never really liked gray weather. Growing up, I always associated gray weather with very bad times, especially during the school days. I remember you would have the gray, haunting clouds all over, and not a ray of sun you'll have. And the blue sky was always when it came, it was really cool and really awesome. But unfortunately, I always associate gray clouds with my darkest memories. Some people have some good memories with rainy weather. I don't. I really don't have good memories because all of my memories have been washed away. Ever since a child, I remember always rainy days associated with bad stuff. And if I could think back, I remember all the horrible times in school I had to go through, and most of those days were rainy. So I don't like rainy weather. I understand rain happens for a reason, but obviously I just don't like the color of it. I don't like to look at it. I don't like when everything is all stuffy. Normally, rainy weathers indicate stuffiness as well, so I feel more congested for some reason. Um, but yeah, so I was really working on my book yesterday, and for another book, I had an idea, which I was planning for some time. Had an idea to write more of my personal feelings, to like not not really hide hide any examples from my life, if that makes sense. I want to really use my examples, my life as an example, some cringy moments as an example, and some stuff I go through. I'll have to obviously be sneaky about it and not mention names, or I'll always stretch what the truth actually is. But the point is, I want to take examples from the real world because I just feel more comfortable that way doing that. Personal problems and stuff. Not this problem, obviously. I feel like this problem is something else that I caused on my own, but I'm talking about other issues. Um, so, anyways, I don't even feel like eating for some reason. That stupid penalty thing is haunting my mind. I just don't feel strong at all to even eat. It's the flavor, guys. It's the flavor. I want to enjoy it, but I can't. If I check within 3 days after today, and my balance still says something, then I'll have to make a repayment for some reason. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'll have to do it because I guess I put the wrong reference number. The payment didn't go through. So I don't know. I don't even know now what's to come. I'm afraid. Normally, if I'm assuming if the reference was wrong, it obviously would tell me, or it won't go through. I don't know. I'm just not unsure of this. This is the first time paying any kind of bill. I normally don't pay bills. Okay, I don't pay the bills. Um. Anyways, wow, YouTube is quite interesting, isn't it? I recently made a video about the YouTubers who are going to transition, and it was a funny video. Yes, definitely a funny video, but I feel like I have to expand upon it because there's so many YouTubers that I know for a fact are going to come out as trans in the next 5 years. It's so bizarre to even say that as a statement. If 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 you told me that many of those YouTubers are going to transition, I would laugh at you because it never made sense. But these days, a lot of things don't make sense, and I've noticed that like I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed that people who just get more political these days just come out as trans more often. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too glued on noticing stuff. I'm too glued on noticing stuff. But yeah, um, I just wish I can show you outside. I can hear the wonderful birds chirping. It's so beautiful, so mesmerizing to finally hear some birds chirping under the blue sky. The green is bright, the sand is bright. Well, it's still dull, dark from yesterday, but it's a bit brighter. It's shiny. Everything feels all right, you know. I just hope it's okay. Isn't it invasive and overly speculative to be guessing on whether or not someone is trans? I would say not really, not really, not really, because well, I'm just making assumptions for the future. That's all. That's all. I really, I'm really trying to have fun, but at the same time, I feel like it's also a serious thing to look at because these days so many people are coming out as trans, and when you have to point it out, it will seem weird. It will seem weird, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of those big name YouTubers come out in the next 5 years. Um, there will be times where I come across a few channels and I would say, okay, this person is definitely coming out after the next 2 or 3 years. You can just get that vibe from them. Anyways, I have so much to eat. I want to finish it now because I don't want to keep it. The spicy version of this is actually quite good. The spice really keeps up, and it doesn't sink. The spiciness level doesn't sink. This is actually I think the third tomato sauce flavored chips I've ever eaten in my life. Well, let me rephrase that. Third, as in the third brand, because I've had plenty of tomato sauce flavored chips. The only difference is they came from other brands. So this is the third brand I'm eating that features tomato sauce flavor. And I must say, it's quite light on the tomato sauce. I've had previous flavors and they were much better, previous brands and they were much better because I think they don't really they don't skip on being too light with flavoring. Like the first ever tomato sauce flavored chips I had is from a brand that doesn't make the tomato sauce flavor anymore, and um, that chips flavor, tomato sauce flavor was so strong. You could see the red all over the chips. Like over here, it's not as much. It's lightly decorated, but previous brands when they did this, it was much better. But what I can really enjoy is the size of the chips. Normally, with big packet of chips, Normally with big packet of chips, um, most of the pieces are gigantic, and I just don't like that. Whereas these ones, most of them are so small, and it feels like they would fit perfectly in a small bag. Are you neuro? I can't even read that. Sorry, no, I have a problem with pronunciation. Um, Neurodivergent. No, I'm not. I don't think so. I never really got diagnosed for anything like that of the sorts. Anyways, what time is it? 9:17. Wow, that's quite early. Hmm. I think I might make a sequel to my previous trans video, but this time I have to search for more people. So far, I only have a few contenders, and they're less than a handful. So I have to add more. I have to find more. I have to search, comb the internet for more people. When I initially had this idea for this tier video, the tier list video, I had a bunch of YouTubers and content creators in mind, but then all of a sudden, when I went to actually find the images of those content creators, I forgot most of them. So I'll have to continue that tier list, expand it, and hopefully, hopefully, um, it's a fun video because my previous video did not do as good. I think the last time I checked, it had like 60 something views, which is quite low compared to the previous videos I posted, which received like 2,000 views. That's a real big dip in views. I really wonder what goes on because even years ago when I would make videos, something was a bit off because most of my videos won't reach a large audience. And that's so bizarre because the thumbnails were good, the titles were good. It's just the video did not reach anyone sometimes. Sometimes the videos would be like 30 something views. That's the problem. So hopefully things change with the viewership. It's really hard to be honest, um, to be hyper focused on doing YouTube as well as writing. I don't want to do YouTube full time, but I have to do YouTube um, to really gain an audience for not just my books, but of course for anything in the future. If I ever need any help, I'll always have an audience out there. And I started doing YouTube way back in 2016, not with this channel, but a previous channel. And I was very awkward making videos. And for a while, I really enjoyed myself. And then after I lost my channel, I just gave up for a while. But thankfully, I had this channel which gained some support. And because I reached like 60 something subscribers, I decided to make videos on this account. And it was quite fun to make these type of videos, the TG videos, because it was easy. I always wanted to do this type of stuff, so I was passionate. And once all the early videos came out, they received so much attention. Then I started making more personal content, and those videos did not receive good viewership. I guess most people don't really care about that, which is fine, which is fine. So I have to give the audience what they desire. Hmm. I was also thinking of other types of videos to make, but I still don't know what other type of videos to make. I still don't know. I'm really really trying to figure that out. I don't want to do another Reddit video now because I feel like I have to wait a while just to collect more images. The Reddit video is actually fun, but one time last year, was it last year or the year prior? I think it was the year prior. I did a Reddit video and then I I wrote down, I think in the description or the comment section or something somewhere, I wrote down the username of of all the people I showcased. And that was a bad idea because YouTube figured out this username, tracked it down, and since this username was associated with someone who did some NSFW stuff, my entire channel got a strike. Yeah, it was so ridiculous. I could not use links for a while. I could not do anything. It was so irksome. So I started putting the credits on the video instead, and I made sure to make it seem as if it's not a full link. It's just the username. But yeah, I think the strikes healed, the wounds healed, and now everything is back to normal. But still, I'm very cautious of what I do. I'm very cautious of what I post on the comment section or the description because that's the thing. It's like now I'm getting penalized for what other people post. It doesn't make any sense. It's so ridiculous, honestly. Um, But yeah, those Reddit videos are fun, but I don't want to do another one because I have to wait a while. Because I recently did a video and I had like so many images, and I turned that into a short form content. By the way, the original video was past 3 minutes, which is good because I'm getting tired of having my short form videos get transformed into YouTube shorts without my consent. It's so ridiculous because then the music will have to be cut off. That's so annoying. Or I can't put music for videos over over 60 seconds. It's been a while since I did a TikTok video. Oh, by the way, I've heard TikTok could be banned in America. I wonder how that's gonna affect everything. I don't think it's gonna affect me, obviously, because most of the videos I find are from other countries. I've only used a few Americans showcased in my content, so it won't change as much because, as I said, most of the content I use are from countries like Brazil, Mexico, uh, just non-American countries, but only a few times I've used Americans. The reason why I kind of avoid using Americans, please don't get upset at me for this, is because you can't really find the video you want specifically. Like if you just want a simple before and after, excuse me, you could get it, yes, but then sometimes you're not going to get it. You're not going to get that before and after. Sometimes you click on the American account and it's just not really showing any before and after or the type of before and after you want. Um, so I just ignore that. But it's good to really check elsewhere. It really shows the rest of the world, um, the different types, the diverse types of trans women. So I'm kind of glad I'm kind of some people's gateway into Latina trans women. I am the gateway. All right. So I'll check some stuff out and see what's to come. Hmm. I still want to make a tier list video. I want to continue the tier list video, but I have to find a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of celebrities. I already have a few in mind, and maybe that will change over time. Sometimes sometimes it's so obvious, and sometimes some people other people will assume someone else will transition. So yeah, and making the thumbnail for that video was actually quite fun because I got to use my Face app, the app that's just sitting and collecting dust. I got to use that app. It was so fun because I don't get to use that app a lot, and I forget about that app sometimes. It eats up so much of space. Sometimes I could do without it, but I don't want to re-download it every time I need it. So I'm just gonna keep it. Like today, you know, I had to re-download my tax app because I deleted it month prior because I thought, you know what, nah, I'm just gonna do all my taxes on the web browser. And I know I said earlier in this video that, you know, for your bank for your bank account, use the web browser instead. But I feel like when it comes to the for the tax stuff, I think you can use both, use web browser and use the app because I'm telling you, like both are as difficult to understand. But I feel like the web browser just looks a bit better in my opinion. But still, the web version is 10 times better always because it has more options. But the app, normally it's supposed to signify convenience, but if it doesn't have all of the features, why bother? Just why bother having an app in the first place? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I have some videos to make and then I'll just be happy. I might not even finish this chips because I feel I feel a bit scared. I'm waiting for the results. I hope I hope I hope everything is paid for. I know it's paid for, but when I check my balance, when I phone my balance and when I search on the official web browser, I see my balance, it still says I owe a certain amount, even though I just paid it. So it might take a while to process it. So I'm just going to be stressed about that. Okay, bye.